growth is so fast. I'll give you one example in healthcare, which will give you very much clarity to students also. There was an MBA whom I taught, one specific exam I got taught so many. She was a girl who did an MBA in healthcare in 2017. He went into product management in pharma, product executive. She was product executive. She went on that time a salary of, I believe, I still remember, almost 5 lakhs. And she was from Tier 2 college. 1.5 years, she got promoted to senior product executive. Amazing. Now she is the group product manager in 5 years with a good MNC, and I believe her package is not less than 15 to 18 lakhs minimum. That's the scope. One. But there are brands which don't differentiate because new education policy, I hope you are aware, has not cleared. As there's no difference between online and offline. They will be given the same regard in terms of education.
There is this equivalency of degree in online, distance or regular. Everything is similar as per you.
Yes, we are also making changes in our own company also. On online, offline, both will be given the same cadre of assistant manager.
Welcome to our today's expert, Dr. Ravindra Pratap Gupta, the founder and chairman of Aviyana RPG Group of Companies. He is also a business mentor, coach and startup specialist. So far he has 20 fields.
Hello sir. Hello. So I am honored to have you in our show, and this is our special industry expert interaction show. And with healthcare department and this much of experience, I'm sure that students and everyone will get a lot of insights from you.
Thank you.
And I think I also believe that people have very less knowledge about the healthcare department. People are not aware about the other aspects of the healthcare department. So today in our session, we will discuss about the same. And the very first thing I would like to know about the misconceptions around the healthcare department.
Very rightly, I think, Pooja, the question that you have asked me. Normally, when you talk of healthcare, people think hospital, people think doctors. But healthcare is a very wide arena today. Yes, of course, it's hospitals, it's pharma companies, it's pathology and diagnostic centers that you see, it's cosmetic and wellness. Even gyms and all comes under wellness. So health is a very wide area. The misconception today is that the scope of healthcare will be big or not, but the people who realize the potential of healthcare, this is one segment now people want to enter. And just to bring you on your accord, India's first digital health course was recently launched by one of the biggest institutes in the country, IIMs, in Raipur, for digital health. And that's the first course in India. And if you see, the health is digitalized in the country like anything today. And there was no full course from a big brand in the country. That's the scope of healthcare. IIM Raipur had to launch that course. And it's got full in just few days.
Actually, basically, the people think that the healthcare department is all about doctors and nurses. They don't know that there are other departments as well.
Yes, I'll come to that point. You very rightly said. First, I gave a broader outlook. It's health is not just hospitals. Health is much more than that. Now, if I say doctors and nurses, yes, of course they are a part of ecosystem, which is very important. But nevertheless, what makes them important? Today, let's take an example of a hospital. Normally, what we see a front desk, we somewhat know telecalling team which calls you. We know a doctor and a nurse, and that's what is our limited knowledge of healthcare. But if I talk about hospital inside also, there also I can give an example how actually a hospital has got internal various departments. Let's say a hospital, full-fledged hospital. There's a full-fledged marketing team, and you'll be amazed to know there are 9 to 10 marketing departments inside a hospital. And I will not go in much details, but just let me tell you: visiting consultants marketing, GP marketing, loyalty cards marketing, international marketing, wellness center marketing, quaternary care marketing, bariatric and all those segments marketing as separate, corporate marketing, camps and all marketing for that.
Yes.
And then of course government schemes marketing. 10 segments, there are more than 10 segments. See the scope of marketing inside a hospital even. And hospitals form in 3 categories: primary care, secondary care, tertiary care. Primary care is the clinics and all. Secondary care is some nursing homes to 100 bed, all those. And tertiary care are big hospitals. Now, when you talk about big hospital, it has got all these verticals we just told you in marketing. There's a full-fledged accounts department every hospital has got, where from billing, taxation, everything is taken care of. Then there's the operations department, which takes care of all the operational ways of running the hospital day and night. That's it. And then, of course, there is the maintenance and operations department along with that, which takes care of the routine maintenance of all those equipments and all. And of course, There is medicine and supplies department where pharmacy is a part. Now today, even opticals is a part of a hospital, and running canteen to support all the things. So hospital itself has got so many departments, and then security and surveillance, where you got security people around the hospital to take care of those aspects.
Definitely.
No, notwithstanding the, of course, front office, all those things that also come along with. So even in hospital inside also, so many departments exist inside. And let me tell you one very important fact. In 2023, 368 billion US dollars is the healthcare industry in India. Can you imagine 2023 I'm talking. 2016 what would be? Any guesses?
No idea.
I'm telling you, it was 84 billion US dollars, from 84 to 367 billion US dollars. 22% compounded annual growth rate.
Huge.
Yes.
Huge.
And you will be amazed, from 367 it's going to go to 638 billion US dollars in 2025, just in 2 years, more than double. So that's the scope of healthcare industry, the way it is growing. Yeah.
Frankly speaking, I was not aware about all the other options in the healthcare department. So now I'm thinking that even if I am from the management department, I can go to healthcare sector as well.
Absolutely. I tell you,
But
many people I'll just point to your question. Now, many people want to change their segment and come into healthcare. Yes, they're specialized courses. You do them, you get the job very fast. Like in IT, you do courses, you get job very fast. Same in healthcare, if you're a course-driven person, take a certificate. Yeah.
So we talked about the COVID era, and at that time we realized that there is a big need of the healthcare departments. So how do you see that the biggest problem in the healthcare department?
See, healthcare biggest problem, like we started with the talk, people understand healthcare in doctors and nurses. That's the biggest problem. Healthcare is much more and needs much more people. Of late, people have started. I will tell you a very amazing fact. In India, 10 years back, there were very selective colleges giving MBA in healthcare, or pharma healthcare, or hospital healthcare MBA. Now you see the numbers. Still, they are not phenomenal big, but they're quite sufficient to say that they exist. And the brands giving online and offline both. And now if you see the scope multiplied, because the people are getting jobs. There's one direction where people want to become doctors, not all become doctors. There's one direction where people want to become engineers, not all. But when healthcare you talk of, there are people who want to do a graduation first, and they want to see a scope which sector to healthcare. There people are now gradually choosing. MBA in healthcare, if you see, is one very nice specialization based subject, where from operations, marketing, accounts, all these special and IT specialization I've rare heard in healthcare, but IT in healthcare is one coming field which is very strong, because software and digital health is the biggest, picking up, which I said just now, the course from IIM Raipur which has started. That's the kind of scope now when this kind of courses are. Let me tell you I have been a professor to one of the leading institutes for healthcare in Mumbai, and all my students for 4 years whom I have taught are all engaged with all healthcare brands. None I've heard is without a job. That's the scope, because you are a marketing person in healthcare. Every hospital needs you. Every pathology needs you. Every diagnostic center needs you. Every cosmetic center needs you. You give your CV, you see the calls to come. You are an accounts person trained in healthcare. You know the terminology of healthcare. What is today, when you do a billing, you know those facts inside what to put in billing. A normal person would take time to understand those things, and you are trained for that. You are today an operations person who knows day-to-day operations and departments inside healthcare, which a normal person will not know, because he will take time when he gets internship doing a general MBA then. But when you're an MBA in healthcare, your teaching is of such way that you're already taught in that, and then theoretical with practical you are being with internships, you become versatile in that. That's the beauty of healthcare. And I can tell you, whichever batches that come out in healthcare, today the scarcity of manpower is so much now. Healthcare industry is scouting to take them fast. A general MBA, I not say scope less, but the scope of healthcare is tremendous. Tremendous. I don't want to name any brand here, but I can tell you any and every brand I have been touched in healthcare, I've seen the way people get absorbed, because this is specialized knowledge. And after this knowledge and with some internships done, that's icing on the cake. People want in the industry those people whom they don't have to train much. They know the healthcare environment basically, and that's more important.
So as per you, that now healthcare department, people have very good scope in healthcare department, right?
Yeah.
So we have talked about, if we talk about the kind of scope, and we have also talked about the different sectors like pharma, hospitals, pathology, and radiologist, cosmetics. So how do you see how much of a salary one person can expect, and what exactly is the scope for them?
I'll just give you an example in healthcare. Let me take a hospital as a small sample. We've taken MBAs in healthcare in marketing. See, marketing is not just going and doing the sales. There's a branding, and which I didn't mention when I was mentioning 10 departments initially. There's a branding department inside. One is relationship management, which was 10 departments. Another is branding department. Branding में creatives, strategy, which is on coming on print and digital media. Everything is a part of it. So the scope and salaries. I'll give you a small example. Suppose I hired a fresher. I'm talking of 2017 when I hired. My starting salary for a not A but B grade college, I will say, grading we do in colleges, tier 1, tier 2. Starting salary was 35 to 40,000 that time per month. So you can think of when I took A grade people, I was paying them 50,000, 60,000. So you can take a difference when a college comes from IIMs and IIT, the leading brands so-called, or maybe ISBs, and I should not name, but I'm telling you, we of course have a grading for their packages. But when it's a B grade college also, and the student is good, who has come out and with a good knowledge, we can see with good internships, there we do not hesitate giving them packages. And we have seen the success of this when we have given such packages to these people, and they've come from this trained domain, and they've helped us that we don't have to put our heads to teach them what healthcare is, because they were already accustomed to the environment of healthcare. And let me tell you now, from accounts perspective to anything, even people have ventured into accounts. Normal accounts job, people are expecting that they know tally only. Without tally, the thing is not workable. Accounts is not more than tally. But when you're coming in healthcare and you've been taught about the healthcare way and accounts, you understand very nicely. Salaries are comparative to marketing, what you are getting in marketing, I just said. Relationship management, marketing, branding, accounts, operations. Their salaries anyway start from 4 to 5 lakhs, and it goes up to, starting for good brands, goes up to 14 to 15 to 20 lakhs even as starting. I'm not joking, you must be thinking.
The scope is good and the package is also going to be very good. So
Absolutely.
what about the scope of MBA in these sectors? Or I would say that, is there any specific qualification required?
I'll tell you, first of all, the healthcare normally expects that you are inter science, but that myth has been now broken. They are taking one non-inter science also, and graduates may they are even taking, see, MBA you can do in healthcare from a graduation in arts also, or journalism also, or commerce also. That field is open, healthcare MBA. And when it comes to, there are certain specific courses like BSc biotechnology, microbiology, because this even clinical testing is one part of healthcare, which we forgot to mention in one of the domains. A lot of clinical trials are held. For that kind of people are needed. Testing laboratories need people to test the samples. That kind of specialized manpower is also required. So even if this kind of, let me put one at a time, that the scope of an MBA who is coming out for a marketing specialization, for an operations, for a finance, for IT, the scope is such that any subsectors that I mentioned, we just talked on, from hospital to diagnostic to pathology, just give an interview, see the difference. You have internship experience, you know the environment, and you see a plain MBA in front of you, you will prefer. That's the kind of scope. And a normal salary, which happens to be for an MBA, which is a plain MBA, compared to such MBAs who are already from healthcare sector, the salaries are better. For sure, the salaries are better. Because I tell you one thing for sure, any background person comes from, any tier college person comes from, but healthcare specialization done course, may it be MBA, may it be technical courses, the advantage is there in terms of package also. And I've told you, let me give a very small example of it. See, we talk of X-ray technicians today, we talk of all those positions. Do you think they're less paid today compared to the other segments where person does these technical jobs? They're much better paid. I don't want to label those salaries here, but they're good salaries, not bad. But when it comes to specializations like post-graduation or specialized such courses done, of course the pays are much better in terms of scope. And to be very frank and honest, tertiary care, the way it is expanding in India, hospitals, the bigger hospitals, and even the nursing homes, the way they have flooded the various tier 2, tier 3 cities, even leave tier 1, everywhere, immense is the scope. In terms of getting offers, people are getting 4, 4, 5, 5 offers, and they're then bargaining which to join, which. See, after IT, which a segment which I see is started bargaining is healthcare, and that too specialized manpower who is trained on that. You work for 1 year or 1.5 years in a company, hospital, get your CV, the experience, and then you have not to say the kind of ladder that you touch. That's the scope.
That's the scope.
The dreams have gone that people used to work for so many years and then see a scope of growth. The scope of growth is so fast. I'll give you one example in healthcare, which will give you very much clarity to students also. There was an MBA whom I taught, one specific example, I taught so many. She was a girl who did an MBA in healthcare in 2017. He went into product management in pharma, product executive. She was product executive. She went on that time a salary of, I believe, I still remember, almost 5 lakhs. and she was from Tier 2 college. 1.5 year, she got promoted to senior product executive.
Amazing.
Now she is the group product manager in 5 years with a good MNC, and I believe her package is not less than 15 to 18 lakhs minimum. That's the scope. Now there is another. Yeah. So there is another example.
I just wish that I knew this before.
Yeah, there is a tremendous scope. There's no doubt about that.
There is also this MBA in healthcare management program. So is there any difference between online MBA in healthcare management or the offline program? And if you can talk about its scopes as well.
First I'll clear you two things. First is MBA in pharma management and MBA in healthcare management, hospital management.
Yes.
So pharma management में जब आप you are doing a pharma management one, they are teaching you specific to pharma drugs, formulations, management, production part, the various details on that aspect from the aspect of marketing, operations, and finance and everything that subjects come, and the domain subjects inside also taught nicely, specific to pharma. And a lot of pharmacists are doing pharma management MBA because they feel a big scope for them going into management cadres in pharmacy as pharmacy head and all those stuffs. Then there is
a big scope in management as well.
Yes. And then because they are asking, you're just pharmacist, okay, you are MBA in pharma management or general MBA also, they also give you advantage. But pharma management MBA, if you're you're already a pharmacist and you're doing pharma management. Then there's MBA in hospital management. As we talked, hospital has got various departments inside.
So it is kind of double specialization in the same field.
Yes. But these separate MBAs existing now. For MBA in pharma management is already there. MBA in hospital management is already there. So if somebody is doing MBA in hospital management today, again he is exposed from a front office to OPD to IPD to all the departments inside, which have all the elements of marketing, finance, operations, IT, everything. There's a huge scope for him to land. And let me tell you, you want to ask me one difference. What is the difference online and offline in this case? Let me clear you there. See, difference is practical aspect. No doubt, you go for online. Pandemic, most people have done online, even paying offline fees. But where they got advantage when they went for internships. They did internships with brands where they learned exactly on the floor how hospital operations happens. On the floor, how hospital marketing takes place. On the floor, how hospital finance and billing operates. In the front office setting and seeing. Those things can be learned in internships if you're doing offline, and a lot of good brands who are giving offline have got this inbuilt for them. So this is very important. You go online or you go offline, you need theoretical class, there's no doubt about that, but you need a practical along with which most of the brands help to arrange. They give you good internships, and many of the brands where the internships are lacking, hospitals or the pharma companies take you for 6 months, they put you on training and you've got a theoretical part already, which clears you in a practical also very fast.
So but any application will do the work, but you need both theoretical and practical knowledge.
And I somewhat feel the scope this sector has got. Young students who are going for online or offline MBA, please do it. See, it depends on your the pocket first, how friendly it is, because most of the offline MBAs are not economical. Everybody knows it starts from few lakhs and goes to many lakhs. If you do online, it starts from few thousands and goes up to a lakh or maybe a few lakh. And at the same time, you see the brand when you're choosing. What is the kind of accreditation it has got? Is it NAC accredited, A+ rating?
Yes.
Has it got a pedagogy?
Accreditation and approvals plays the vital role.
Has it got
whether the university is tier 1, tier 2 or tier 3?
Yes. And more than that, what is the kind of teaching pedagogy? Have they got case study based method? Do they give you online, if they are online such cases to see and resolve? Do they give you internship options to choose from yourself or help you in that, whether it's offline or online? Because if practical knowledge, they support you a little, rest you can do, take your interest and create a passion out of it. If you ask me, it depends on your pocket first and interest. If you got lakhs of rupees lying, go for offline. If you got few lakhs and you have passion, go for online. Difference only is you will make.
Scope is going to be similar, right?
Scope is, of course, when you are doing offline, of course, there also your passion counts. Otherwise, you don't have passion, you've done an offline, you say you're better than online, nothing like that. I always think passion, what drives you, whether you go for online, offline. Maybe
and
not fully.
What are the different job aspects?
different. I'll give you example.
Non-medical both.
Medical, non-medical, I'll give the job aspects. Like I say, you enter into a branding department of a hospital. It could be the executive branding, where your job role is, say, suppose from creatives to advertisements to digital. You have 6 marcom tools taught in management, from advertising, public relations, publicity, direct marketing, all those stuff. So you are handling those kind of stuffs for the marketing and branding of the hospital. You join as relationship manager, or you join as branding manager. Similarly, you got on-field marketing of 10 segments, where you're going meeting for business development, getting the referrals, getting the patients, getting the doctors, getting the IPDs, OPDs. You are a person who is into operations, who is driving into the operations of the hospital in terms of day-to-day OPDs on time. The front office is taking care nicely. The technical part of OT or everything is operational. You're a floor manager who is responsible for the full floor, which has got OT to OPD to everything. So that's our job. You are into security management. You've done your MBA. A security team you are handling as executive. You started supporting someone, then you're into let's say into the hygiene related department which is there. So you're responsible for all the called the sanitation related for maybe the cleanliness of from the aspect of the hygiene of the hospital. You are responsible for that department, biomedical department or anything. So you are looking into that. You are today into an accounts department of finance. You are part of supporting team, then you become a part of strategic part, and you are a decision maker. Just one segment the scope. So if the people start at executive level, the people move to assistant manager, to deputy senior manager, AGM, GM, the hierarchy is progress. And likewise, the salary is progress. You are an MBA, you are paid better salary. Trust for sure. MBA is mostly...
So any job type I can think of is in the healthcare department as well.
It's a huge scope. And if I talk of pharma today, see, pharma has got medical reps on field who may be a graduate. But when you talk of product executive, a product executive is normally an MBA. Product executive may come to the field for 6 months, 1 year, get a field of what doctors think about the brands, what salts they write, how much they write, what is the dose they write in which indication. He must be taught at the back and will experience in the front talking to doctors. Then he will be making strategies at the back. Initially, he will be supporting the strategic team as executive. Then he will someday become as product manager, group product manager, where he has got a product portfolio under him. Think of the kind of spiral of moving. Likewise, in production, the person has joined from operations to operations executive. He is assisting in day-to-day operations of the factory. Then he moves on to the level of manager. He's an MBA. He's given fast promotion. You will be amazed to know MBAs are given fast promotion many times, one for degree, other for their work style. It's not just degree, it's the work style also counts. And likewise today, you are in a finance department. You are just a graduate and you are an MBA here. The difference is you will move to an accounts manager. The guy will remain HR executive unless he is very extraordinary that he also moves to. That is the kind of scope. I talk of cosmetics today. You are a manager who's handling saloon. Then you are a cluster manager for saloons. Then you are an operations guy who's ensuring day to day. Of course, operations may cluster manager, all this comes. You are a marketing guy who's handling marketing of the saloons. You are a group marketing guy who's making branding. You are into branding department of marketing. You are making creative strategy, digital strategy, marcom tools, all that you're doing. It's a huge scope. You enter an executive.
It's basically a very huge department. We can discuss this thing like the whole day.
And I tell you many times, you'll be amazed. This is a very important thing I'm telling you. Like we hire MBAs from good colleges or maybe full-time MBAs. We give them assistant manager tag. And when we hire a MBA from, say, not an MBA from online MBA, that time we are giving HR executive, but after confirmation, we give them assistant manager. So there is a differentiation clearly for many, but there are brands which don't differentiate because new education policy, I hope you're aware, has not cleared. There's no difference between online and offline. They will be given the same regard in terms of education.
There is this equivalency of degree in online, distance or regular. Everything is similar as per UGC.
Yes, we are also making changes in our own company also. On online, offline, both will be giving the same cadre of assistant manager. Because we don't want to differentiate because government is not differentiating. So that is always a scope. MBA is called Masters in Business Administration. When Masters you are doing yourself, you have to be managing the show. Managing the show means first managing yourself.
Any advice you want to give to the youngsters if they are going for any healthcare department? Any advice you want?
See, as Pooja very rightly said, in the starting also, healthcare is one segment. Choose if you have a passion. Scope is there in all segments. You go for an MBA which is plain, you may not get so much knowledge on healthcare. When you go for an MBA which is specialized in pharma management or which is in hospital management, you really are in digital health now because that's the upcoming field. Now other colleges also starting. IIM Raipur has taken the lead already. Let me tell you, you enter the first year, your eyes will open wide. Oh, that's a huge scope. Somewhere you are doing a course. That course You don't know what to do. After 1 year also you're not deciding HR करना है कि marketing करना है कि finance करना है. अरे फिर दोस्त ले रहा तो हम भी ले लेते हैं. अरे my family says I should be HR, I'm a girl so I should take it. Oh I should not take marketing because I can't go to the field. This is how the specializations are chosen in general MBA. 90% of students, 10% students know exactly what specialization they want. But let me tell you one thing in healthcare MBA. After 6 months to 9 months maximum, max to max 1 year, people will themselves tell you which specialization actually fits me. And that's the beauty of this. If you go for online, you go for offline. Thanks to YouTubes and thanks to the online channels which give you a lot of extra information you require. That's the domain specialization based.
One of them is College Vidya. We are actually working on making students aware about the different sectors and different modes of education where they can explore as much as they can, and they can learn and set a very good skill set for their career.
Pooja, I will tell you one thing. It's a Christmas day. You get up at 6 o'clock in the morning or 5 o'clock for celebrations. You ask any other day, 2 times. If you have to make this a habit, any habit takes 30 days to develop. And if you want to today do an MBA or get into that mode of a healthcare or anything to do in life, if you build in a habit that you do success, I tell you, health is one segment. Forget if you're not become a doctor. If you become the CEO of a big hospital today, you know India's biggest brand in healthcare is one of among the top 10 brands in healthcare in the world. It's Apollo Group of Hospitals.
Yes.
It's the first multi-specialty tertiary care hospital in the world which has set standards. And you see today the kind of courses they do, a lot of medical, non-medical courses and all those stuff. You've got even hospitals where you can give them such courses. You've got MBA which they can do in some colleges or schools. My only advice to you is when you choose healthcare, first year, whatever course, whether you're going for an MBA in pharma or a hospital management or online, offline, any, leave first year to learn everything. By second year, you will be yourself clear what you want to take. This is one segment now which gives you so much of clarity now that you don't need anybody to guide. And thankfully, nobody guides you much enough because they don't know much. Any other segment, you've got policies to, you've got friends to, well-wishers to influence you. Here, nobody can influence you.
But I really hope that you will be there to mentor.
Always there. I'm always there to help you, your students, anytime. And I can tell you for sure, this is a great journey to take healthcare as a segment in terms of a specialization in education and post-graduation, of course, especially, and huge prospering careers await for you people. Huge prospering because shortage of manpower, shortage of manpower. It's happening in such a way now. Hospitals and their nursing homes, to their cosmetics, to your pathology, diagnostic, they're not getting manpower. What more to say? They're not getting manpower. And if such kind of manpower today, you are training and making available, I can tell you one thing for you're doing, getting them such courses. I can tell you one thing for sure, that it will be easy for us, easy for people like us to even mentor, and for recruiters and for pharma companies, to all healthcare providers to engage them fast. Just check the scenario in any healthcare based course. What is the percentage of placement? I can assure you, they don't make a bang, but they're much better than normal MBAs.
With this session, I am really gonna suggest my friends and family to go to the healthcare sector, and to students as well. And thank you so much. Thank you so much for this information and insights and your time as well. Thank you so much.
Thanks.